Tennessee's Wild Side, broadcast for nearly 2 decades, was originally created through a vision of the Jackson Foundation. The foundation remains a supportive partner in the mission to educate viewers about wildlife, natural resources, and opportunities for outdoor adventure. Wild Side is produced by Rockwater TV with support from Tennessee State Parks, where you can discover our state's diverse heritage through spectacular landscapes, family-friendly recreation, and affordable lodging. Tennessee State Parks, fun and adventure naturally. And with support from the Tennessee Department of Agriculture, promoting wise uses of Tennessee's agricultural and forest resources to develop economic opportunities and to ensure safe and dependable food, fuel, and fiber for all citizens.
Hi friends, welcome to the Wild Side. I'm Steve Hall. There are plenty of places across Tennessee where you can go to hike, bike, play sports, or just have a picnic lunch. But only one of those places is next door to the State Museum, just below the state capitol, with a timeline of Tennessee history. So you can go there to exercise or relax and learn something along the way. And at least once a year at the Bicentennial Mall State Park, history really comes alive.
This is my bed.
Most of them were already bilingual, so they spoke French and English.
Have you guys ever heard of the French and Indian War? I get some nods, I get some no's. That's all right, we'll catch you all up.
A lot of kids get to go on field trips for a glimpse of history.
It's fun because we get to see all this cool stuff.
We see enthusiasm, we see mystery, we see all the questions that I had when I was that age.
But only a few kids get to dress up in period costumes and help teach their peers about our past.
Today I am a nurse from the Civil War, and I gave the soldiers water and gauze. I patched up their wounds. My papa's really interested in it. He dressed up as the driver today.
This is an outdoor learning adventure at Bicentennial Mall State Park, where performing educators teach a chronology of Tennessee history.
We have the Tennessee History Timeline event going on today, and we have living history programs, people representing Hernando de Soto all the way up through the Civil Rights Movement.
There's a lot of history about the wars, like World War I and World War II and the Civil War.
De Soto through Desert Storm. And the reason we do that is that our pathway of history, the large, long, continuous granite wall behind me, depicts all the anecdotes of Tennessee heroes and characters that made Tennessee's history. So we thought it would be much more authentic for us to follow that timeline by having a series of characters that are actually depicted on the wall perform in front of the wall as those very characters.
Our girls and women taught your girls and women to cook these dishes that your people now call Southern cooking. Which is an honesty to tell the truth, most of it Southern Indian cooking.
I miss teaching, so I decided to start a school. So that's how I became the very first teacher here in Middle Tennessee.
So not only do I want to annex Texas and add it to the United States, but I wanted to go all the way to California.
So to add insult to injury, not only have we acquired all this territory from Mexico, but less than a year after the peace negotiations, American settlers discovered gold in California.
And after the Civil War ended and the Union won the war, Tennessee was the first state to rejoin the Union.
The most cool thing I learned is how they connected the cannon and that wagon, and the horses would pull it.
It's not just the kids who are learning. Some of this history is news to many adults, and sometimes participating in historic events as a performer can open opportunities to dig deeper into our historic roots.
I had history every year up through high school, and our American history. I never knew about women's roles in World War I. And I grew up in Fentress County, the home of Sergeant Alvin C. York, World War I's greatest hero, but there was never any information that I learned about women's roles during that time, except on the home front. And I knew that women went to work in factories and did other kinds of jobs, but never that we were actually there in the war with the men, transporting equipment, driving ambulances. And it really changed the worldview on what women were able to do because of the jobs that they were doing in the war and on the home front. When we came back after the war was over, we still had not earned the right to vote. And just up on the hill, right at the Capitol, that's where the swing vote happened, and we finally earned the right to vote.
But historically, fairness and equality never seemed to come easy. Most of the reenactors in this timeline represent people who are long gone. But Frankie Henry is portraying herself. She's one of the brave African Americans with the nerve to take a seat at a Nashville lunch counter in the 1960s.
A white lady came by, and behind me I hit my arm on the counter, and I felt something burning, and she was putting her cigarette out on my arm. And she just held it there.
While our past isn't always pretty, understanding history can help the next generation make decisions that may determine the future of their own children.
I'm trying to share with them how to be a participant no matter what phase or what part you play in, and you don't have to be a leader to have an impact on society in a positive way. I was only a foot soldier.
Oh, this event is incredibly important because it's the only place in Tennessee State Parks or anywhere in Tennessee as historic sites that encapsulates all of Tennessee's history in one spot.
And this young historian found an opportunity she believes may be good for her own timeline.
I'm kind of different from my class. Everybody else likes modern stuff and I like history, so when I try to tell them about it, they just start talking about something else. But if they saw me on TV or something, they'd be like, oh, she actually did do this. Sometimes they don't believe me.
To all of Laura Grace's classmates who may be watching, you've seen it, so you can believe it. Our website, wildsidetv.com, will guide you to more information about Bicentennial Mall State Park and all the other stories we show you here on the Wild Side.
Tennessee's Wild Side, broadcast for nearly 2 decades, was originally created through a vision of the Jackson Foundation. The foundation remains a supportive partner in the mission to educate viewers about wildlife, natural resources, and opportunities for outdoor adventure. Wild Side is produced by Rockwater TV with support from Tennessee State Parks, where you can discover our state's diverse heritage through spectacular landscapes, family-friendly recreation, and affordable lodging. Tennessee State Parks, fun and adventure naturally. And with support from the Tennessee Department of Agriculture, promoting wise uses of Tennessee's agricultural and forest resources to develop economic opportunities and to ensure safe and dependable food, fuel, and fiber for all citizens.